So, I want to say a little bit. I want to really offer some thanks and gratitude for all of you who have given me support for my motorcycle accident. Many of you know I was in a really bad, actually my motorcycle accident wasn't so bad. The treatment at the hospital I got was actually the thing that almost killed me. But I was in a pretty bad motorcycle accident on October 15th and was in the hospital for about 6 weeks. And I don't know, there was a GoFundMe that was created, and that a lot of people sent me a lot of messages and a lot of financial support, and I just want to say that it was to sit in the hospital bed and look. I mean, Facebook's kind of weird anyway, but like to look at like all the love and support and all of it. I actually couldn't look at it for very long. It was really, whew. So, yeah.
We love you, Dave.
That's true.
Yeah, it was an interesting retreat. It was one of my most difficult meditation retreats that I've been on. And in my mind, I had this thing called ICU psychosis, which is like tripping on acid, but like horror movie style. And I, in my mind, died many times and had these experiences of like, the body is done and it's time to go, and it's like, okay. And then I would kind of wake up into some other weird acid trip like experience and I was like, oh, I didn't die. And that happened a lot. And when I finally came to, I guess you could call it, I remember it very vividly because I thought that they had rebuilt my face with digital sensory data. I remember telling my girlfriend Shannon, I was like, yeah, I have like killer smell now, and my ears, I hear really good, and I have these like metal legs, robotic, that I actually remember telling her that I was probably going to be able to dunk a basketball. And I don't even play basketball, but I think that scared her because I didn't have any of those things happen for me. And the one thing that really made a difference for me, it was one of those strange experiences where you start to see how the practice shows up. And I've been at this for a little while, and it's really hard to gauge your practice, I think. It's really hard to, there's really no barometer that you can use to check in as to how it's going or what's working, or is this meditation practice. Sometimes I feel like, why do I even bother? I don't know if you ever felt that way when you're sitting. And it was, I want to make a big plug and do some practice around metta, because the thing that really got me through when I came to, and I spent many weeks just sitting in the bed day after day in the hospital, wondering if I was going to be able to walk again, wondering if I was going to be able to have sex again, wondering if I was going to be able to like pee again without like a device. Not fun things to think about. It was, I didn't suffer so much actually. I had a tremendous sense of everything was sort of going to be okay. Mindfulness was not really my practice. Mindfulness of hospital room, mindfulness of getting your blood checked at midnight by a nurse who wasn't good at getting the blood out, so they would stick me over and over again. It was really this deep sense of like, it was okay to be there. It was going to be all right. I was at ease with it. And I didn't see that coming, I guess. And there's this sense of dharma, again, this word means so much to me. It's like I just get this attitude much of the time, we're like, it's okay. Like, being alive is okay. Dying it's okay. You can die. You can sit here. You can lay here. It's just okay. In my hypothesis, or I suspect that experience is the result of really cultivating the heart and grinding out those phrases and being on retreat and really trying to come to terms with, may I be, this phrase that we use, may I be at ease. Thousands and thousands of times saying that. And then really having this like real experience of like the fruit. It's like you can't prepare, you can't plan that, you can't predict that. I've been told, of course, by him and many people, like that's how it works. But yeah, so I really just feel really supported by Refuge Recovery as a community and Against the Stream and all of the people out there who were kind of in that. And I will never take walking meditation for granted again on retreat. Ever. I can't wait to go on retreat and not take walking meditation for granted. Because I mostly think it's kind of a break, right? It's like the sitting is the real shit, and then we gotta go walk. So I remember, I have it on video actually, maybe some of you saw it on Instagram. I was with Scott Tusa, who's a friend of ours who teaches sometimes, and I was in the, I went to my orthopedic appointment to like check out if I was gonna be able to walk, and they like took some x-rays, and I'd been on crutches in a wheelchair for like 12 weeks. And they're like, okay, you're okay. And they're like, you could walk. And I've been like trying so hard to not put weight on my right leg for 12 weeks that when they told me I could, it was so weird. That's where mindfulness was interesting, to be like, okay, like I can do that now. Then I walked down the hall at the hospital, and it took me, I'm still struggling a little bit. But it was really actually, weird to say, but it was fun to engage in walking after not being able to walk for so long, and also being able to, not being sure if that was going to be able to happen. You know, these doctors, they like to say, I'm not sure. They like to be very ambiguous, you know? I'm like, am I going to be able to walk again? They're like, well, you know, most of the time people have your, it's like, can you just give me an answer? And I didn't get a lot of answers. So, yeah, so I wanted to just dedicate a sitting practice here tonight to do a little bit of metta for all of us, for everybody, before we move on. So you can just sit however you like to sit. And seeing if you can bring your attention out of your mind into your body. And allow your awareness to arrive at your heart center. Breathing in, feeling the chest rise and expand with the in-breath. Breathing out. And as you cultivate awareness at the heart center, allowing yourself to feel into your own desire to be free. your own deepest wish, your desire to be free, to be at ease. Or perhaps the most simple desire to just be okay in this world. And breathing into this intention of metta. To cultivate this process, beginning to offer a phrase internally, may I be at ease. May I be at ease. If you get distracted, you get lost with your thoughts, just recognizing that with a friendliness, of course. May I be at ease, breathing into the body. May I be at ease, breathing out of the body. Breathing in, establishing an internal attitude of kindness for yourself. A friendly attitude. a well-wishing. And expanding that intention to the people sitting on the left and right side of you. May you be at ease. May you be at ease. Whether they're a good friend, a stranger, someone you just met, may you be at ease. The people sitting behind you, those sitting in front of you, inward and outward in all directions. May you all be at ease. Everybody in this room, may you be at ease. Breathing in, may I be at ease. Breathing out, may you be at ease. Breathing in, may I be at ease. Breathing out, may you be at ease. Here tonight, collectively generating as much metta as we can for ourselves and for all living beings everywhere. Thank you. So I do have an announcement, and part of the reason for the conference was to allow me, as I'm going to humbly allow myself to alleviate my role as being in charge of the Refuge Recovery nonprofit. We have somebody here who's going to take on that job responsibility. I've been very grateful for the opportunity to do that. I apologize and I ask you for forgiveness if you had contacted me or reached out to me and I hadn't gotten back to you, because the chances that that happened is very likely. And I appreciate Noah giving me the opportunity to hold that space for a while. It was certainly out of my wheelhouse, and did my best to make sure that things stayed on the track. And really the reason why things have stayed on the track and has done as well as they have done is because of you. And the people who are out there starting meetings, leading meetings. That I know that a lot of you, many of you, and people who aren't even here tonight have done a lot of work to make sure that this has been able to continue. I want to thank Marianne Gallo, who is maybe still here. She was very helpful with me, and she was doing it for a while and always was available to answer questions and to help and take on some of the support. I really want to thank Kara Haney, who's been updating the website. It was really very helpful for me and really did a great job in making sure that people are getting their meetings updated and posted, and that's also a lot of work it takes to do that. So I really appreciate Kara and all the work that she's done to make sure that your meetings get posted and that people are finding your meetings. Mary Stankiewicz, who's not here, many of you know Mary, she's the executive director of Against the Stream, has been also very helpful in terms of some of the financial aspects of it, and also just helping me navigate some of the stuff that a lot of the stuff that I have been unfamiliar with. So I want to talk about Jean Tuller, who's here this evening. You want to stand up for a second so people can say hey? Unlike myself, Jean is overly qualified for this particular job, and she's not somebody who's just arisen to take on the role, but somebody who's actually has had a whole career in professional training around this type of work. So I actually want to read her bio here and really point out that we are in really, really good hands moving forward. Jean Tuller is a nationally recognized consultant in organizational development and systems transformation. Her areas of expertise include strategic planning, organizational change, and Medicaid waiver development. She has extensive experience implementing structures that support the long-term health of organizations, both governmental and nonprofit. Spending decades working with and on behalf of significantly marginalized groups of people, she is especially dedicated to facilitating groups oriented towards helping people identify their goals and have a powerful voice in self-governance. She has provided consultation to states as diverse as Alaska, Louisiana, Nebraska, Ohio, Oregon, South Dakota, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. She has worked at the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, where she assisted in the Medicaid implementation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Jean graduated from Southern Illinois University and has a master's degree in public administration from the University of Massachusetts. Her academic work includes executive sessions at the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard, as well as Harvard Business School. As a longtime Dharma practitioner, she has been an active member of the Against the Stream Buddhist meditation community for nearly a decade. She has long-term addiction recovery, originating in 12-step programs and more recently with Refuge Recovery. And for the past year, she has been assisting with the development of the organizational infrastructure for Refuge Recovery nonprofit organization. Jean and her partner Anna live in Portland, Oregon. So let's give it up for Jean. Jean is also a good friend of mine. I've been to dinner with her many times. I've stayed at her house in Portland. I've hung out with her dog. She's good people. And I'm really excited and very confident in her abilities. And I think that we're really lucky and very fortunate that we have somebody who knows what she's doing and can help us, do the right thing and make this thing as successful as it has been and will continue to be. So I feel very relieved to pass the mic and also very, very happy moving forward. So.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. Okay, we're going to have an adventure. Okay, you up for that? Everybody's up for that, right? Yeah. Okay, good. So several years ago, a couple of people had an idea, and this guy and this guy, where's Joseph? Just a few people, and now we have on the website about 263 meetings. We probably have a bunch more that are out there that nobody phoned in yet, and now we need to build the infrastructure to support all that. And that's what I've been hired to do, is to build that infrastructure. And I can't do that by myself. The spirit of this organization is that we do things together. We do things in a transparent fashion with SELA, with integrity, and that we come together and we share our victories and we discuss our challenges and we move through things, and we do that as a Sangha. And so we will see each other as a Sangha on Facebook and on the website and face-to-face. I want to try to get to as many of your meetings as I possibly can. And that, we are this incredible community. There is no stopping us. And I am so humbled to take the leadership from a man that I love so much, Dave Smith, and work closely with another man that I love very much, Noah Levine. So very honored to be standing here, very humbled to be standing here. So thank you very much, and please say hi to me. I'm a bit of an introvert. I will do my best to say hi to you over the couple coming days here. So thank you.
So we know we're talking upstairs about the schedule, which is actually really quite good. But there is going to be one change, and I just want to mention it because I feel like it might alleviate some anxiety that people might have. I'm assuming that some of you might have some questions. And so that being the case, we want to make sure that we have some time. So on Sunday morning, in the 10 to sort of noon slot, we're going to make some space. So basically, we want to have an opportunity for you to have some questions, if you have questions, and we may or may not have the answer, but somebody in the room might have the answer. So we want to hear what your questions are, what some of your struggles are, and we also really want to hear what's working, what are some of the things that you've done, what are some of the benefits, what are some of the things that you have had success with in your community, and hopefully y'all will be talking to each other about that moving forward. So a little bit of a Q&A with an emphasis on doing some networking. So that way, so many of you are doing such great things and have new ideas and are doing meetings in different ways, and to the point where I don't even know a lot of what's being done, but you do. And so that people who need that kind of support, I know that a lot of the emails I've gotten, a lot of the questions I got is that people are sort of doing this and they're we kind of don't know what we're doing, and can you help us, right, Detroit, right? And I feel so bad because I'm I totally don't know how to help you, but I think you're doing great and keep going, and so maybe we can kind of be a little bit more, maybe you can find people that you can get some more information from, and so on and so forth. So that will happen if that's something that you're thinking about. So I'm totally excited about this weekend, and I feel I feel a lot more relaxed than I did last year, and I feel like we got a lot of work done last year, and I feel like this has been a really good year for Refuge Recovery in general, and I feel like we have a lot of great things in place, and with Gene and these conferences and moving forward. So I feel relieved So thank you all, and I'm going to give the last word to my friend Noah.
I think I'm still on. Am I on? How about now? How about now? How about now? I actually don't have anything to say. I don't always, but I sometimes reflect on how kind of amazing it is that I'm still sober, that you're sober, and how sometimes I take it for granted. It's become my habit to not take drugs, and my lifestyle to be in recovery and to be abstinent. But I think maybe partially running a treatment center now and seeing people come in every day struggling, and seeing some of my close friends, show up struggling to get clean, and just what a really, really difficult thing it is to establish and maintain abstinence. I was talking with a friend earlier today who is a long time abstinent from drugs and alcohol, with addictions coming up in other ways, and talking about abstinence and this crazy thing that we're doing, which just says stop doing the only thing that gives you any relief from your pain. Just stop doing that. Stop doing this thing that's the only, it's a dysfunctional strategy, but it's the only strategy that has been working so far in our life. Not that it really works, right? It creates more suffering, and we all know that. And that it'll gradually get better. Turn towards the pain, and gradually it'll get better. And you'll develop compassion, you'll develop forgiveness, and you'll recover. You'll find the freedom, but first you're going to have to be really uncomfortable. Be really uncomfortable for a little while. Mostly, that's the case for most of us. Once in a while, people get that, what they call the pink cloud effect. Anyways, I thought I didn't have anything to say, but I guess I did. Mostly, I just land in gratitude. Gratitude for the Dharma. Gratitude for all of the people that tolerated me and accepted me and showed me kindness, even when I was pretty intolerable.
It's been hard, bro.
And then I've been able to do that for others, and that's what we're all doing, this pass it on, be of service, support each other, community, fellowship, sangha, and how central that is, really, and what we're doing. It's not just, 3 refuges. Refuge in the practice, refuge in the experience that the practice leads us to, and in the people that support us and tolerate us and that we practice with. So what I'd like to do is look around the room at each other, get through those eyes of appreciation and that kind of like, I'm glad you made it. Because that's how I feel like looking out at all of you junkies. I'm like, wow, you fucking made it today. And some of you for decades, some of us for decades, and some of us for years, and some of us for months, and some people are new in the room. Just kind of saying, like, can I do this? Can I live my life with renunciation, with abstinence? Can I have some freedom from the suffering that addiction created and that just life throws at us? The pain, the loss, the difficulties of being human. So I'd like to ask you to stand up. and hug some strangers and kind of tell them I'm glad you made it.